Edward was a man who chased time. Every second mattered, and he lived his life in a constant rush, always on the move. His days were filled with meetings, phone calls, and the pursuit of the next big deal. The office was his second home, a place where he thrived amidst the chaos. He measured success in profits and losses, his life a whirlwind of ambition and acquisition. Late nights at the office were a norm, as he meticulously reviewed financial charts. Edward had a beautiful home, a loving family, and more wealth than he could ever need. His luxurious lifestyle was the envy of many, yet a nagging emptiness lingered in his heart. Despite his success, something was missing. He had everything money could buy, but true contentment seemed elusive. The more he acquired, the more he felt a void within. One cold December evening, as Edward hurried through the city streets, his briefcase in hand, he felt the weight of his relentless pace. He noticed a homeless man huddled beneath a street lamp. The sight was a stark contrast to his own life. The man's threadbare clothes offered little warmth, but a gentle smile graced his face. It was a smile of genuine contentment. Edward, lost in his own thoughts, barely registered the man's presence. His mind was preoccupied with the next task, the next meeting. He was late for an important dinner, a gathering of the city's elite, where deals were struck and fortunes were made. It was a world where time equaled money. Time, as always, was of the essence. Every tick of the clock was a reminder of the relentless pace he had chosen for his life. As Edward rushed past, the homeless man looked up and with a twinkle in his eye said, "Excuse me, sir, but do you have a moment to spare?" Edward paused, his mind still racing. "I'm sorry, I'm in a terrible hurry," he replied, his voice laced with impatience. "Of course, sir," the man chuckled softly. "It seems we're all rushing towards something, aren't we?" Edward hesitated, surprised by the man's calm demeanor. Something about his gentle voice made Edward stop. He found himself drawn to the man's quiet dignity. "What I wouldn't give for a moment to spare," the homeless man mused, his gaze distant. A moment to simply breathe, to appreciate the stars, to listen to the city's heartbeat. Intrigued, Edward found himself lowering his briefcase and taking a seat on the cold pavement beside the man. "Tell me," Edward asked, "how can you possibly find abundance in a life like yours?" The homeless man smiled, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. "Abundance, my friend, is not about what you possess, but about what you appreciate." He gestured towards the star-dusted sky. "Look around you. The moon bathes us in its gentle light. The city hums with life, a symphony of sound. Even the cold air reminds us that we are alive." He continued, "You see, sir, true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of experience, in the moments we collect, in the beauty we find in the everyday." A change in perspective. Edward listened intently, his heart beginning to stir. The melody of the street musician resonated with him, evoking memories long forgotten. He had spent a lifetime chasing success, accumulating possessions and striving for more. But he had never stopped to appreciate the simple gifts that surrounded him, the beauty of nature and the joy in everyday moments. The homeless man's words struck a chord deep within Edward, making him question his life's choices. He realized that in his relentless pursuit of more, he had sacrificed his peace and well-being. He had lost sight of the true meaning of abundance, which wasn't about wealth, but about fulfillment. Edward thought of his family, his friends, and the countless blessings he had always taken for granted. The memories of laughter, love, and shared moments flooded his mind. He had been so focused on what he lacked, the material things he didn't have, that he had failed to see the richness that already existed in his life, the intangible treasures. For the first time in a long time, Edward felt a sense of peace settle over him, a calm he had never known. He had been searching for happiness in all the wrong places, in the hustle and bustle of life. True abundance, he now understood, was not found in material wealth or status. It came from a grateful heart, from appreciating the little things. Edward knew he had to make a change, to focus on what truly mattered, and so, with a heart full of gratitude, he began his journey towards a more meaningful life. Wisdom's humble abode. Edward thanked the homeless man for his wisdom, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for the unexpected encounter. With a newfound lightness in his step, he continued on his way, feeling as if a burden had been lifted from his shoulders. He arrived at the elegant restaurant where the dinner was being held. a place that once symbolized success and achievement to him. But now, he no longer felt the same sense of urgency or the need to impress others. As he entered the opulent dining room filled with the city's elite, he felt a sense of detachment from the materialistic pursuits around him. Edward realized that his perspective had shifted dramatically, and he no longer envied the wealth and status of those around him. He saw the endless pursuit of wealth and status in a new light, understanding the emptiness that often accompanied it. That night, Edward made a decision that would change his life forever. He would no longer chase after fleeting pleasures or superficial accolades. Instead, he would focus on cultivating gratitude and inner peace, on savoring the precious moments that made up a life, like spending time with loved ones and appreciating the beauty of nature. He had learned a valuable lesson, a secret to true abundance, from a man who possessed nothing but wisdom and a grateful heart, a man who had shown him the true meaning of wealth. And that, Edward realized, was worth more than all the riches in the world, a treasure beyond measure.